So, ADHD and girls. A similar but different field to our ADHD and boys. And I think we're all very familiar with lots of social media coverage on this very topic, and how actually for some women and some girls with ADHD, the hyperactivity element of that is often cognitive. So they might have very busy brains, and we may see lots of rumination and catastrophizing and worrying and overthinking in those busy brains. And I think sometimes when that's happening, then our girls become very interested in detail, and their sensory processing system maybe kicks in to help with calmness. And sometimes just kind of dumbing down that hyperactivity is something that needs to be done with some help and some support, and using some strategies that can really just calm those systems down can be helpful. And that might be exposing our girls to opportunities for activity and movement. It might be encouraging them to take up a hobby of running or trampolining or something that gets their body moving. It may well be exposing them to opportunities for sensory interactions and sensory activities and sensory toys. And so again, when we're thinking about attention as well, thinking in terms of how can we help our girls in their organisational skills and getting sorted so that they don't feel that sense of panic on that last minute, that they have got themselves sort of organised. So looking at structures that can help. And I know lots of girls that have found just colour coding their school timetable to match with certain elements in their pencil case or certain covers on their books. So putting some of those systems in place that actually we kind of tend to think of not necessarily needed with ADHD, because we think of that kind of spatter paint picture rather than that organisation. But sometimes offering those opportunities of organisation can be really helpful. And so when we think about that kind of disorder element of attention deficit and hyperactivity, then we're also thinking in terms of how we can structure in a way that is going to be helpful rather than push our girls into panic or getting them to feel that they're overwhelmed and things are too much. So it's just finding that balance between structure and excitement and movement and calm and keeping those interests rolling for our girls. And so, again, it's about sometimes changing up the way we think. So I'm a real fan for homemade structures and homemade ways of doing things, because it's much easier to go from pink sparkly to black matte background of a structure if you think, or a schedule, if you think that that's something that might be helpful. So thinking in terms of flexibility and fluidity when we are putting structures in place can be really helpful, rather than buying or downloading expensive ways of supporting some of that organisation and addressing some of those executive functioning challenges. So I hope there's one or two things there that perhaps we can just think about for our girls who have that ADHD profile.